Welcome to Cinema Snacks as we discuss my favourite Star Wars film, Return of the Jedi. Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the Return of the Jedi review. It's going to go on for so long because I will never stop talking about this. Jobe will be going to his job and I'll just have like a battery pack on my laptop and still Return of the Jedi. Jobe's like, I'm not here, not needed for this part. I'll be like, no, you listen.
How are we even having this conversation? I'm currently cycling to work.
Just see me in my car, like, bumping the curb. It's like, you're going to keep talking. But back to the film. Mm-hmm. Because we've been talking about Star Wars for coming up 2 hours at this point as we batch our recordings.
2.5 hours, yeah.
We now head off to Endor, where we follow them for a large part. The team's there. Han is starting to get a feeling that there's something between Luke and Leia, but he can't put his finger on it because Luke was a bit vague when he spoke to Leia. But on the way there, they have to pass through a
security check. They have to pass through a force field to get onto Endor to blow up the generator.
And they got an old code, but Luke's like starting to realise this is a bad idea because the way he has moved up in the Force, he can sense Vader and Vader can sense him, which is a throwback to A New Hope, when Vader and Obi-Wan can kind of feel each other out on the Death Star. Mm-hmm. But rather than end it there, Vader decides to let them through because I think you can see he has eyes still on Luke standing by his side and ruling.
So what I think, once again, because I'm kind of keeping an eye out for these sort of things, so I think that all of this is part of the overall plan from the Emperor. Because obviously the Emperor wants Vader to take Luke, whether to kill Luke or to take him on.
Well, it plays into the end quite clearly.
Yeah. So, but the fact is, so this is all part of the plan, because obviously later on we find out that the code was given to them by the Emperor, so this is all part of their plan. And so it hits a point where most of this is kind of playing out how they wanted it to. So when he realised, like back with the Sky City, it's a trap, well, they kind of knew he was going to try and get there. So similar to this, they knew that he would have to be on there, and then. So I don't know if Vader knows this bit of the plan, but he's working for the benefit of the plan either way.
I think Vader knows that plan, but Vader also has his own plan. Such is the way of the Sith, because it's a rule of two. And
so I wasn't going to bring this up just yet, but yeah. So at this point in the series, we don't know the rule of two, but for the
overall saga,
for the one person who may not know the rule, there can be as many Jedi in the universe as possible, but there can only ever be 2 Sith, the Lord and the Master and the Apprentice. There can only be 2. So, with that in mind, if Luke joins Darth Vader, either Darth Vader will kill the Emperor or the Emperor will kill Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Because there can only be 2.
Yeah.
Like a weird Highlander.
So they make it through. They try to take out some stormtroopers on their bikes initially.
Yep.
It kind of backfires a bit. You see a tiny bit of a brush up between Luke and Han, because Han's used to being the leader, but Luke is more astute, and you don't mess with Leia. Leia knows what it is.
And I also think because Luke was a passenger in the first film, and now he's taken more of a commanding role, it's tougher for Han to kind of adjust.
But Han gets heard, and they have to stop stormtroopers, and Luke and Leia chase him around on the bikes.
Those things. Doing on those things at that speed feels like the most dangerous thing in the entire film.
And unfortunately, they get separated. They stop him, and Luke makes his way back, and you see Han's genuine concern that he doesn't know where.
No, he is.
And Leia she's getting herself together. She gets stopped by a stormtrooper, but she's met a strange little teddy bear.
Yeah, Ruggles.
Yes, Ruggles.
They're Ruggles.
Strange little teddy bear, which we find out later are Ewoks. But not in this film, it's never said.
No.
Then take out the stormtrooper, and the Ewoks take Leia back. And then they go out searching for him. they actually find the Ewoks, so the Ewoks find them, and this is Chewie does the most man thing. It's like, free food.
There's free food, and he runs like yards. It's not like round the corner. He runs like a good couple yards to get this raw meat on a stick.
Like they're like, no, this is a bit odd, and I stand by. This is when they are in this net, all of them, C-3PO, R2, Han, Luke, and Chewie. They're trying to figure out a way to get the lightsaber out. R2 does the most my wife thing ever. So they're like, pass the lightsaber, cut us out of the net. R2's like, no, I'm just going to cut through the rope.
Yep. Just going to do the thing.
Yeah. He's like, no. He's like, no, don't care what happens. And it's amazing because they never show it backfire. Somehow R2 lands the right way up.
He's
R2. The next shot.
He's R2.
But then they're surrounded by the Ewoks. And I don't know if this is accident, on purpose, direction. So you see, like, Luke and Han looking round at the Ewoks. And they're kind of smiling to start with. Like, this is bizarre. Like, there's a bunch of small bears.
Yeah.
Like, surrounding us. And they're like, we're going to get up. And then they start to threaten them. And then they suddenly realise like they're really outnumbered.
Yeah.
So they go to take them back to the Ewok village.
So I have a question. Obviously this is after they see C-3PO as a god.
Yeah.
So I have a question. They go to prepare all of them for food, but keep Leia as a, I don't know. She's not a prisoner. They're just keeping her, I guess.
I have a theory within this feed, but you go on.
So I did make a note of that. Although now saying it out loud, I think it feels more like she's kept because she's already spoken to Warwick Davis and established that they are okay, and therefore she's been accepted. Whilst they're seeing these guys as strangers, I think that's what makes the most sense to my head as to why she's also not being cooked.
Well, there's a darker thing which me and Emma discussed here.
Is this more fan? Is this more a Star Wars erotic fan fiction?
No, that's the previous one. Listen to the other two.
Yes.
One Night in a Tauntaun, an unabridged Dan original story. It's going to be a Vine
I've just been
or
sick
Zine.
Zine.
It's going to be a zine.
It's been sick in my mouth.
So, right. So the Stormtroopers have been on the planet of the Ewoks. They must know each other.
Yep.
And later on in the film, we see they have Stormtrooper helmets.
Yes, I know
what
this story.
happened?
Yeah, no.
So I'm thinking the majority of Stormtroopers are men, so they wouldn't see the point in eating a woman.
There's a comment I could make there, but I don't know. I think the only thing that, because obviously that's one of the things of have they eaten the Stormtroopers, but the Stormtroopers would also, because also the Stormtroopers seem to be surprised that there's life on this planet, that the Ewoks are there in the first place. On this moon. So the question is like, so do they know they're there and don't care, or?
But they must have lost a couple over the years and just never put it down to the Ewoks are eating them.
True, but then at the same time, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where unless someone quote unquote official.
But I love how quickly C-3PO will throw them under the bus. Because a couple of times he's like, well, I can't save you. And he's like, they're about to get eaten. And then Luke's like, tell them if they don't listen to you, you're going to get very angry. Yeah, and he's like, it's not going to work. So I can't 3PO playing a little bit. It seemed like quite like, no, I don't care if they get eaten. I quite like being a god.
No. His words are, it's not in my programming, which once was
rubbish.
It's Asimovian. That's all I can say.
And then Luke to show his power, and I love the way they do it. You just see 3PO because the Ewoks kind of looks like, should we eat him? He's like, nah, sorry, he's not really that powerful.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're like,
don't see, I love the way they do this. It's like a really simple effect, but it looks so good. And it shows like how much Luke has come on, and like because he was struggling with it in Empire, and now he's just lifting and spinning. Yeah, and it's so great. It's just a great thing because you're getting to the end of a more upbeat second arc before we get into the mental third arc that I love.
Exactly.
So we then see that the Ewoks are now on their side and they're quite happy to help them. But Luke realises that he has to go confront Vader. Mm-hmm. So he then, after they do this, they set up their plan. One lot are going to try to shut down the thing. Luke's like, I have to confront Vader. And he has a conversation with Leia. where he goes, like, he calls her to one side and they're talking. He was like, I've got to go confront Vader. And he's like, why? He's like, and they're talking. He basically tells her that she is his sister. And the way he does it, and this is a bit of inside baseball, because I said this film weaves in and out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So he says to Leia, he's like, the Force is strong in my family.
Yeah.
I have it, my father has it, and so does my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're my sister.
Yeah.
My first words to my son was,
mm-hmm.
the Force is strong in our family. I have it, your mother has it, and now so do you.
Oh.
So my son's first words he heard from me is a reworked version of Star Wars. Because I found out I was going to be a dad quite literally after we got back from watching The Force Awakens. Oh. So it seemed like a bit of synergy. Like, my first conversation with Emma was about Return of the Jedi. I found out I was going to be a dad after watching The Force Awakens. So the first words to my son had to be a quote from Star Wars.
Mine's probably going to be something from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, there's so many lines there could be. But I barely slept like when my son was born, so I still managed to force that out after 3 hours sleep in like a day and a half.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was, like, he then goes and we see Leia's distraught. Han turns up at just the wrong time.
Yeah.
But it shows his growth as well, because Han would have walked off flustered where he's like, oh, so you can tell Luke, but you can't tell me.
And then he walks off.
He goes to, and that's the change, and he's like...
Stops.
He's like, sorry.
Yeah, and then he's just like, look, do whatever.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the kind of, you know, do whatever you want. If you're interested, I will back. You know, he says I'll back off, and I'm like, well, good for you, man. You know, 2 films ago, you would have just been sarcastic and walked away.
But I apologise now, Joe, because for the next 10 minutes you're not going to get a word in. So,
I will try.
No, you can try. It's not going to work. So when Luke goes to see Vader, because Vader spoke to the Emperor, and he knows that Luke is, like, going to meet him, and I always pull Luke
which
up.
I think is always part of that plan.
I always pull Luke up on the sentence on the technicality, because I'm that kind of guy.
Yep.
Luke goes, he's already on this planet, and I'm like, when he sees it, I was like, technically he's not on the planet.
It's a moon, yeah.
Oh, he's like, he's not on the moon yet. He's in a spacecraft.
Yeah.
And then he lands. I was like, okay, now he's on the moon. Because Luke basically volunteers himself.
Actually, sorry, I didn't.
I'm sorry, I don't remember letting Joe talk for 10 minutes. Gone.
No, I didn't notice in my notes, but I did notice this. So when he meets Vader, it's night, and then when the crafter goes to take off, it's already the following day. Yeah. I'm like, so have they been standing on that platform? Have they been sitting, or are we just looking at anher ship and it's just a weird coincidence? I
love this because this is where you see the first Vader turn. So they speak to each other, and Luke's like, father, and you see for the first time Vader's like, oh, father? Yeah. Like, it catches him off guard. And he's like, I've basically talked back and forth. He's like, I'm going to save you. No, you're not. But instead of saying you cannot save me, he's like, there's no hope for me now.
Exactly.
And
he's already given up.
Yeah. But he wouldn't have said that 2 films ago. Like,
in the same way that there's the other line of, during the fight, I believe, where it's just like, the you know, I can change you back, turn you good. And he's like, but the dark side is too strong. Not no, you can't, or I don't want. It feels like there's no way I can because I'm already too far gone.
But it's like when he's looking at the lightsaber as well. It's like the nuance in things. He's like, I see you've constructed yourself a lightsaber.
Well,
Obi-Wan's trained you well.
He also wants to do like, well done, son, I'm proud of you.
But I like the way there's almost like the bitchy step there. He's like, oh, Obi-Wan's trained you well. Yeah. And it's like, he trained him for like a day and a half.
It's been a week.
But it's just, you see him and it's even the body movement. Like the way he is with Luke, he was like, join me. Like, he's not even angry like he was. He's like, join me, we can rule the galaxy as father and son. He's like, no, father. He's like...
And as I said, this is when it becomes a case of, with not knowing the rule of 2 at the time, obviously, you still kind of go like, well, Darth Vader would have to kill, even if Luke joined Darth Vader, they would both still have to kill the Emperor.
And he's basically like, I would rather die than join him. And then Vader's, He's like, so be it. And it's just everything about the way Vader is, the way he looks at him.
Yeah.
Once they take Luke off, he even kind of stands there and he looks at it and it's like, you're broken, like, you're not, your conviction wasn't as strong as it was before. And it's such a beautiful moment seeing in between, because it's like a father and son moment. Like,
so one thing I find interesting, he has no expression. He has no expression. We as an audience,
movements.
but we as an audience are projecting on his face.
Yeah,
and you're right, it's his body movements as well. So all of these scenes where he's doubting, you know what he's thinking, or you know he's at least hesitant.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how far we've already got at this point, but when he's out fighting the Emperor and he's being electrocuted and all of this.
Oh, we're getting to that. That's a whole big Dan talks constantly.
But throughout, from this point onwards, I'll say, anytime there's conflict within Vader and he's processing something, the movement, the lighting, the angle of his helmet, you know there's something going on in there, and it's not just vagueness.
It's like I delve into. It's like the father and the son moment. I'm fortunate enough to be a father, and seeing how he is, and it's a very real feeling. Like, you can see, and like, fortunately, my relationship with my son is a lot better than Vader and Luke. But you get the thing, like, you start to sympathise with Vader, which is something you thought you wouldn't do in the other films.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to be close to Luke. He wants to help him. He even, to a degree, wants to be the person Luke thinks he is, which has gone against every way he's been. And it's just you can tell you're now dealing with a different Vader, and Vader's not confident and comfortable where he is in it.
Yeah.
So he then takes him up to see the Emperor.
Yeah.
And you now have 3 stories which are running concurrently at this part.
Yes.
You have them trying to down the shields.
Yes.
You have Lando trying to attack the Death Star.
And the Star Destroyers, yeah.
How is Luke, Vader, and the Emperor going to end up? Mm-hmm. So now we see them, and we know we're in Endgame now. Mm-hmm. You have all of them appear out of hyperspace.
Yep.
To take on the Death Star and the defences. And pretty early on, Lando and a couple of the others clock on. I'm trying to remember.
So am I.
Mr. It's a Trap.
Yes.
I said this last night when watching it before I saw his name. But even when they get there, they realise, like, if they didn't know we were coming, this is an awful lot of things to be here.
The line was, they're
jamming
General Akbar, yeah. They're jamming our signal. But how are they jamming our signal if they don't know we're coming? And it's like, they do know we're coming, which is why our signals are jammed.
Because it seems like it's going to... Because on the ground, we think, they're going to get in there and...
So even though they know they're coming, they're already at the general station to blow it up.
Yeah, but they know, like, because they're like, this is gone. Like, one of the Ewoks has helped distract them, so they get in. Yeah. They get in there, and then you cut to the Emperor speaking to Vader. He's like, I know of your plans. He's like, this station is fully operational. Yeah,
and then that's when...
And you see Luke's like, oh, no.
And that's when you have, like, okay, we've done it. And then you've got all of the stormtroopers outside.
And then they start attacking the rebellion.
Yeah.
And I tipped my hat to them, so I was like, this is a brave thing, because they're starting to realise they could retreat. They could retreat, but they're like, Lando's like, no, we're here.
Yeah.
Trust them, we just need to give them more time.
We just need more time.
They're basically on a suicide mission at that point.
Yeah.
And then our furry teddy bear friends are the game changer who saved the galaxy.
So, I would like to throw something out here. So, having talked about enjoying this film and a lot of people criticising, like, you've got all of these
you can't criticise the end of this film. No,
that's the thing. I
know you're not.
I'm on the side of this film. One of the few times me saying this is a good film, people agree. And when you've got them throwing rocks and doing all sorts of doing the basically the fight basically in the same way at the end of the Predator, where they're using all the woods around them. So watching that, remembering like the criticism, well, you couldn't do all of this in reality. I'm watching this and I'm thinking they're doing well, but then they do start to lose, even though they've got a surprise ambush. It hits a point where they do start losing.
Yeah, and it's a 3-act structure in the 3rd act. It's a big thing they do in action films. Yeah, the Ewoks in this have a really sincere moment. So to turn the tide, they then come in masses via 3PO speaking to them.
Yeah.
They then come to attack the Empire on the moon, and the Empire's outnumbered, which is a problem they don't have in space.
Yes.
So then it then starts giving the upper hand to the rebels.
Who are on the moon, but not to the ones who are... But
Luke
can watch.
doesn't know that yet. So he's going back and he's like, oh, it's time to show a thing of our power. And you see them destroy like one of their vessels.
Yeah.
And still, like, Lando and the rest of them, they're like... And Wedge, who's still there, they're still like, no, we need more time.
Yeah.
And they don't realise what's happening downstairs, and now the tide is starting to turn. Like, the Ewoks are taking them out.
Yeah.
Bringing down the numbers. Favourite part is the Ewoks and Chewbacca have now got an ATST.
Yeah.
But like they've got these very basic setups, like it's the classic things which George said the idea when writing the script, it was supposed to be America versus the Viet Cong at the time.
Yeah.
Or not long before. So they're very basic, but they're taking them out. They're taking out the Empire's forces. And then we cut back, and it is the time where, and it's slightly stammered, the 3 things. So now,
we don't know. We're seeing Luke look out the window, seeing the ships being destroyed. We don't know at that point, time-wise, how well they're doing on the ground. We know they're doing well, but we don't know, have they already changed the tide yet?
And then Luke, the thing that breaks him, like I just like it. He's like, yes, I feel your. Grab your lightsaber and strike me down. Do it. And Luke loses it for a second, grabs it. He's blocked by Vader, but what you see is different from the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Is when he's fighting Vader, he's like, I will not fight you, Father.
Yeah.
Luke is now defensive. So go back to what Yoda said to him in The Empire Strikes Back. It shows Luke has moved on. He's not attacking. He's waiting for Vader to attack.
As I said, because he's still not... Yeah, he still reacted. He still reacted with emotion. But it's the case of like, okay, shouldn't have done that. Cool down. Vader's down here.
And he's moving round. And he's like, I will not attack you. He's up in the thing and he's doing...
He has the higher ground.
But Vader taunts him to get him.
Yeah.
And it's the line where he's like, your feelings betray you. He's like... And Luke's starting to wobble because he's taking on 2 of the most important Empire.
Yeah.
And it's the line where he suddenly goes, your feelings betray you. And the line that many a friend has said, I've had it said to me and I've said it to friends, the way Vader says it is like, you have a sister. The most dangerous line you can say to your friend that you just realised.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe she will stand by my side.
Yeah.
And Luke just goes. And that, like, I always say, people talk about lightsaber fights, are like, this one's the best, this one's the best. And if you're listening to this, Dan, who I have pizza with occasionally, we talked about this recently. It's the emotion in the fight.
Yeah.
Because the way Luke fights Vader, he's like angry and he's attacking, he's going at him. And you can see there's anger in him because it's the fault of him hurting his...
Now sister.
Yeah, his now sister. And Jewels of Fate is a brilliant score. The 30 seconds of score where Luke is fighting Vader and he's attacking him and he's going at him and it's like it's like very and you see him and he's attacking Vader and Vader's starting to lose because of the anger. He's older, Luke is younger, and it's just Vader's down and where he should stop because he said he doesn't want to kill him and he chops off his hand
and the same hand.
But you see Luke's face go because I love it so much because he sees the wiring. He thinks of his hand. He's now seen a moment between him and he's like, no, I've become everything. I've given in to anger. And then the Emperor's behind him and he's like, good, finish him off and take your place beside me. And this is where Luke sets himself apart from Vader the Emperor and the Jedi, because the Obi-Wan and Yoda wanted him to kill Vader. That's not going to solve anything because the Emperor's still going to be there. Luke doesn't want to kill his father because he's now worried of everything he's going to become, and he sees the parallel of his dad with his hand, and Luke just like, I'm not going to do it. And then the Emperor's like, you will die, and he's shocking him, and I was like, it's nuance in, because now Vader's got up and he's seeing him shock his son. Yeah, the son he now wants to build this connection with, and you can read this about 4 or 5 different ways why he does it, and none of them are wrong. Like, he's looking at the Emperor shock his son. He's like, Father, help me. And you see him looking back and looking over. And as I said, you can feel his turmoil on his face. I said, you can't see his face, but you can feel it. And if you could have seen Jobe's face when he saw me, probably about 3 minutes, I just went, he wanted to say something, but you could tell he would not be able to get the words. But it's like, does he stop him because now Vader sees that the Emperor would have cast him aside in a moment? Yeah. Is it that he sees that it's his son, he sees that everything he's thought is wrong? Is it Luke's like, the message has finally got through to him? It's just so many different things that just, I'm like, oh my God. And then, because he knows he's dying at this point. Yeah. Like, you can hear it in the breathing before, it's more laboured. And he knows, even if he wasn't to die, he knows he's weak. And he knows that if he lifts that Emperor, taking the lightning, like, that's it. Like, this is the final act of a fallen father. And he picks him up one-handed and walks him over, and you got that score going again. And he chucks him down, the lightning goes up, and Vader falls. And it's now Luke who comforts him. And, takes him to the ship. But you get the other bits that are going on at that time as well. Like, you now see that they've now completely won on the ground. The shield is down. Lando and that realise it. A team go into the Death Star. They shoot it. They blow it up. You get General Akbar's turn like that because he's realised it's going well. Mm-hmm. But you've still got the moment, and it's just Luke being Luke. He's carrying Vader to the thing. And Vader's like, leave me here. He's like... Actually, I've got a quick question. Yeah. If he called for help to carry Vader on that ship, do you think anyone would have helped? No. Because they're all trying to save themselves. They know they're doomed. It's every man for himself. Yeah, because I was watching that thinking like, would he call for help? I know like Sebastian Stan was like an actor in his own right, but to have that iconic moment, because it's such a build, even now, like if I'd seen Empire 20 times, I've seen Return of the Jedi 30 times. Every single time where he's like, no, let me take off my helmet. He's like, no, but you're going to die. He's like, let me look upon my son with my own eyes. And just the whole build, like you see the back come off first, and you're looking at just the mask part of the helmet. Even now, like the scar, you're like, oh God, like what he's seen. So we skipped this in the last episode. But when you see him in his chamber and you see him at the back of his head and you know something's up, and then you kind of see the back a bit better, and then you see like how the rest of it fits his head, and it looks horrible. But it's let me look upon my son with my own eyes, and he takes it, and you just see this old man who's been through a lot, but he's probably only on set for a day, and he delivers it so well. He's like, I can save you. He's like, you already have. Yeah. And it's just, it leaves it, and it kind of fades, but his last act was, he's done horrible, terrible things, but his last act was as a good man. I just realised he probably spent more time in makeup than on set. Probably. for that scene, he's just like, just everything about that final part, like, the thing that triggers Luke, you're not sure if he is going to go over, and he's not. But then you see, and Luke was right. He managed to reach his father. He didn't kill him. Yeah. He brought balance back to the Force. And he's just like determined to take him back. And he does it, and you see him all. You see, like they blow up the Death Star. Like everyone's happy. Like they make it out. I like the fact that they're all cheering, and then Han looks to Leia and goes, "Oh, I'm sure Luke came out. I'm sure. There's a great moment. And she's like,
No, I can feel it, yeah. And I'm just like, oh yeah, shit. You probably do need to think that.
And you see, depending if you watch the original version, you just see a massive celebration with the Ewoks.
Right.
If you watch the prequels, you go around all the places you don't want to see.
Okay, so that's one of the things I wanted to ask. So I've just got a couple of bits. When you see all the different planets celebrating, I'm like, wait a minute, isn't like these three from the prequels? So I'm guessing those. So I'm looking at that. Okay, I'm guessing these are some of the bits that have been added in. But I have two other questions. What is there of Darth Vader to burn? Because because it's not that. Because as far as we're aware, there's not that much meat on him. So I feel like, how much is there to burn? What's the melting point of most of that metal? And is the air covered by toxic plastic?
Well, it's symbolic, isn't it?
I know,
because he's passing him over.
I know, but I'm just sitting there like,
based upon what we know later. Because at the point, as far as you know, it's only the hand.
Yeah, that's true.
But I go for like 60%.
Yeah,
but then you think they don't get rid of the helmet, which freaks me out slightly, because in The Force Awakens you see like Kylo Ren obsessed with it.
I know.
But it's melted, so did like someone walk up afterwards, one of the Ewoks, like, oh, nib, 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 and it's saying in subtitles, I'll make a pretty penny with this. Like, fries it off like the scorched head.
Oh, the image of that.
He's like,
but yeah, off with a lightsaber. I mean, to be fair, that was one of the things I did wonder about Force Awakens. Where did that helmet come from? Which I imagine had a lot of people had questions about that. But yeah, and also my other question was like, how much plastic was in all of this? And are they getting plastic? Are they getting poisoning from all the plastic fumes?
But then we get everything tied up in a bow with a great ending. You see Han speak to Leia. He's like, look. And it shows the maturity of Han. He's like, look, if you just want to go, Luke, that's fine. Like, I'll disappear.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's fine. And he goes, she's like, no, Luke's my brother. And in my head, I still smile about this, that he's having a flashback.
Of the kiss.
He's like, brother? Oh, I skipped over a part earlier on with Han and Leia that I'd want to address. This is me digging out George Lucas.
That's fine.
So they know they're brother and sister now.
Yes.
So Luke goes, do you remember our mother?
Yes.
And this hurts my brain.
No, seriously. But once again, when I watch this, so similar to other films we've talked about before, a lot of the times when I come across discussions of certain films, it's through overly sarcastic productions. And one of the things they talk about, I think it's OSP, but one of the things they talk about is this scene where they basically go, when they talk about this and then realise like, well, they wouldn't have any of this memory.
See, I wouldn't even mind. But he bloody wrote them.
Exactly.
It's not like you don't have to finish going back there. It's like, watch it. It's like, oh, I should probably do a part where Padme lives with the kids for a little while. But she's like, oh, I remember her. She was quite pretty. I don't, like... She died when I was very young. I was like... She died about 30 seconds afterwards. Like, you have a brilliant memory if you can...
You are a gifted child. The midichlorians are strong in you.
When writing the prequels, I'm like, George, you literally wrote the script.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not remember things?
Yeah.
Like, Yoda had to train Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I want to throw this one other...
Padme has to live a little while.
So, I enjoy the Clone Wars animated series. Like
2D or 3D?
2D.
Oh, there you go.
But there's a bit where you've got Qui-Gon Jinn teaching Anakin. And I'm like, he'd already died.
Oh.
But yeah, I just wanted to throw that bit in there, so it's a consistent thing anyway. But yeah, no, that was a thing. That is a thing that kind of bugs me as well.
And then we do the panning shot, and we see like all of them celebrating together, and we see, depending on what version you watch, you've either got Yoda and Obi-Wan looking over with Sebastian Shaw's Vader, or we have a Hayden Christensen one. Jobe's had to temporarily leave, so it's just me on the mic. So my final thoughts on this film. 10 out of 10 for me. Love the film. Love everything about it. It's one of my favourite films of all time. I just love the story, the arc, the everything. I love the way it's shot. I love the colours. I'm currently wearing a Return of the Jedi t-shirt while I talk about this. And yeah, this film was always going to be a 10 out of 10 for me. Life-changing film for me. I know it sounds over the top, but this film and my life are intertwined on a level I never saw possible. So I reflect on this film quite happily. I love Love how it looks, and it's a great family film. But being that Jobe has left me for the end of this, we're now down to a solo podcast as Scott's on the outer rim. I think Jobe might have even went to rescue him. I'll get Jobe to record the socials at another time. You know, we're on Instagram, we're on the various social medias. Give us likes. I've been Dan, and looks like I'm about to do a Luke into the Force Awakens and just walk into the sunset by myself. See you all later.